For fans who grew up watching black television's golden era, this week has delivered heartbreak that few saw coming, because legendary actor Hal Williams has passed away. And as tributes flood in from some of Hollywood's most respected names, fans are now desperate to know exactly how and when the world will get the chance to say goodbye. If you grew up on classic sitcoms, you already know this name, even if you didn't always know it, because Hal Williams was the kind of actor who became part of your household without you even realizing it, appearing week after week in the homes of millions of families across America for decades. Williams passed away on July 15th at his home in Rancho Mirage, California, at the age of 91, with reports confirming he died of natural causes, a peaceful end to a life that spanned generations of television history and touched more families than most performers could ever dream of reaching. Before the world knew him as a beloved sitcom star, Hal Williams lived an entirely different life, working as a juvenile corrections officer before deciding to chase his dream of acting, a decision that would eventually change the landscape of black representation on American television forever. Even after landing his breakout role, Williams didn't immediately quit his day job, continuing to work nights at a Los Angeles post office while filming Sanford and Son, refusing to leave that steady paycheck behind until his acting career was firmly established and his children were grown and off to college, a detail that reveals just how grounded and disciplined he remained even as fame began to find him. That breakout role came as Officer Smitty Smith on Sanford and Son, a character that introduced him to audiences nationwide. But it was his later role as Lester Jenkins, the loving husband opposite Marla Gibbs on 227, that many fans remember most fondly, a performance that helped define what a supportive, present black father and husband could look like on primetime television. Since news of his passing broke, tributes have poured in from across Hollywood, and few carried more emotional weight than the one written by his longtime 227 co-star Marla Gibbs, who described his death as another difficult loss, calling him her dear friend and TV husband, and revealing that their bond had actually begun long before the two ever stepped onto the set of 227 together. Gibbs' tribute wasn't the only one that stopped fans in their tracks, because actress Regina King also shared heartfelt words honoring Williams, thanking him for his kindness, his friendship, and the joy he brought into so many lives, while sending prayers for his soul and for the family and loved ones now grieving his loss. Jackée Harry, another beloved face from that era of television, added her own tribute as well, remembering Williams as a true gentleman who always carried himself with grace and who never failed to make her laugh on set, even during long, demanding days of filming. But Harry's words went deeper than just personal memories, because she also spoke about the bigger picture of what Williams represented on screen, describing him as a stand-up man who believed black fathers on television deserved to be shown as loving, present, and compassionate, and crediting him with helping show America exactly what that looked like at a time when those images were still far too rare. That message has resonated deeply with fans online, many of whom grew up watching Williams' characters and only now, in the wake of his passing, are fully realizing just how important that representation truly was during a time when television rarely offered it. Adding to the heaviness of this moment, Williams' death comes less than 6 months after the passing of his Sanford and Son co-star Demond Wilson, making 2026 an especially painful year for fans who cherished that golden era of black sitcoms and the tight-knit community of actors who brought those stories to life. As tributes continue to circulate across social media, fans have naturally begun asking the next big question, wanting to know when and where they'll be able to publicly honor a man who meant so much to their childhoods. But as of right now, no official memorial or public farewell service details have been released by the Williams family, leaving admirers eagerly watching for any update. This isn't unusual for Hollywood families dealing with sudden loss, as many choose to hold private services first, allowing time to grieve away from cameras before deciding whether or how to invite the public into any part of the farewell process. And industry insiders suggest an announcement, if one comes, will likely follow in the coming weeks once the family has had time to process everything. In the meantime, fellow actors, longtime fans, and members of the entertainment community continue sharing memories, clips, and photos from Williams' decades-long career, turning social media into an ongoing tribute wall dedicated to a man whose warmth clearly extended far beyond the characters he played. From his early days working in juvenile corrections, to quietly clocking night shifts at the post office while filming one of television's most iconic sitcoms, to eventually becoming a symbol of what steady, loving black fatherhood could look like on screen, Hal Williams' journey represents something far bigger than a typical Hollywood career, and that's exactly why his loss is being felt so deeply right now. As more information becomes available, whether that's confirmation of a public memorial, additional tributes from co-stars and friends, or new details about how fans can pay their respects, we'll be here to bring you every update as soon as it happens. So if you don't want to miss a single moment of this unfolding story, make sure you stay tuned, because there's clearly more to come in honoring the legacy of a true television icon.